Good morning. How you doing? Got my coffee in hand. Whoa, what happened here? My setup is weird. Oh, I know what happened. My camera fell down. Let's put that back up here. So you're okay. I was just looking there. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. I'm just gonna play the intro and we're gonna get into it. So, hey, Steve, play the intro. Steve, play the intro. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Night. Alright, stop the music and good morning. Welcome to the March 9th, 2020 version of the Morning Night Live. I'm going to throw some music on right away just to get the mood going. I don't know why I can't hear it though. What the hell's going on here? Well, you guys can hear it, but I can't. What did I do? Did I mute this or did I just stop it? It's in there somewhere. There we go. Keep your whoop flu to yourself. Yeah, this cough is never going away. I think it might be just the dust from UPS. And I don't do anything about it. But anyway, hi. It's Monday. I said that already. The 3rd of March, 2020. And welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Night. Yes, it was a lovely weekend of cleaning and chilling. Kind of clean a little bit, chill a little bit. Clean a little bit, chill a little bit. Didn't go anywhere, didn't do anything. Hung out with Lady Boomer all weekend. And that's just a fine thing, if you ask me. Let's say good morning to everybody who's popping in, because I want to get going with some of this stuff. We're going to get into the hysteria. Well, it's more, it's I'm finding humor in today's top trending item on Twitter, which is market crash. And I want to talk a little bit about that because I think people are losing their minds for a couple different reasons. But oh my goodness gracious, we got our first super chat of the day from Mr. James Colley. Very generous of you, sir. Here is money to help you learn to appreciate K-pop. Just so you know, it's gonna hurt you more than me. Thanks in advance for taking that bullet for me. All right. Well, LOL. Thank you, Mr. James Colley. Wow, that was very, very kind of you. Oh, I got two of these. I need to turn this off. Am I doubling up sound-wise? Oh, no, that's just the boop. Anyway, you got to see the PAWG with James Colley's donation, which is fantastic. So let's say good morning to everyone who's here. Good morning, Advocatus Diaboli, the devil's advocate, who gets the bell for being here first. Good morning, Gunfox61, who blew up. Yes, you did blow up my email this morning. I saw you tell me that. Yes, you did, and I haven't even gotten to it, but I promise you, we're going to do just a straight up Gunfox day because you send me so much great stuff, and I just don't always get to it. Good morning, also Chicago Mike, Grillin' Pirate Pete. Pete, I saw the results of your grilling from Friday. That was fantastic, looking good. Good morning, Texas Red. Good morning, Maddie, my news lady. Good morning, Maniac Man, and that's my bit. Seamus Derby, how you doing? People are slowly rolling in. I'm sure you'll get here eventually, but I just got to get it moved. Oh, and good morning, Sean. I didn't see you there, Sean. Sean is in the house, too. So I don't want to miss anybody as they come in. And James Colley, again, thank you for the very generous super chat this morning on the Streamlabs link, which you can find, people. It's in the description down below. If you want to be a permanent part of the show, you certainly can do that by throwing a couple bucks in the tip jar and telling me what you want me to say. And I generally say most anything you're right within a reasonable. Well, look, if you say something that I'm not comfortable with, I will generously edit the super chat while still saying it in a way that perhaps still conveys the essence of what you are trying to say. So that's how it works. Anyway, good morning also Jaeger Pony, Prophet of Drunk, and I think that's everybody in the hills. So let's get into this right now, because if you happen to be following Twitter this morning, the number one hashtag right off the bat is market crash, and I was looking at that this morning going, what? Now, yes, we do have this hysteria. What I wanted to talk about this morning was the hysteria around coronavirus, and also just the whole hysteria. Like right now, look, you have an element right now. You have an element right now that really, really needs something to blame on President Trump, because they hate President Trump. I get it. I get you people. Okay, you people who hate President Trump, I get it. You got to find something, because look, the Russia thing didn't work, and you were counting on that. You were so hopeful that the Russia thing would take down the president, right? And then the second thing, then you got this Ukraine thing. You're like, oh my gosh, yes, let's impeach him now. That didn't work out. And it's almost like, they used to call Ronald Reagan the Teflon president. And Donald Trump is not, I wouldn't say a Teflon president. I'd say he's kind of more like a Pete Rose president, okay? A Pete Rose president. The fact that I came up with this just out of the blue is amazing to me. But he's the Pete Rose president, because you keep throwing pitches at him and he keeps hitting them, okay? They're not necessarily home runs, but he gets singles, doubles, and gets on base a lot, right? And even though he has some certain character flaws, he's still a hell of a baseball player. Is that a good analogy, people? Now I know, because me, I tend to call Trump a jackass, but I think it's the right type of jackass, because he doesn't take any shit from people. And this is one of those things. This market crash. Most of the people who are writing about this, let's give you a couple examples. There's Dean Obadiah. Now, I haven't even read the damn tweet, but I guarantee you he's going to say something shitty about Trump on this, and here it is. It's very rare that the U.S. stock market closes midday because of a dramatic drop in prices, but that just happened. The stock market is now closed until 9:49 a.m. Eastern Time. So it's closing for a half an hour. Market crash, Trump slump, he puts there. Trump slump. Like something about this has to do with something President Trump did it. Now, some people are smart. Ian Miles Chong, market crashes to dumb paranoid hashtag filled with doomsday tweets. The market always rebound. Buy now. I'd be buying my ass off if I had some money right now. I would be buying my ass off. Well, not my ass, because I still have some ass back here, but you know what I mean. The coronavirus has been around for forever. COVID-19 is a different strain, just like there's different strains of the flu. Stop the panic, take precautions, and follow the guidelines for prevention. Market crash. Now, everyone's bringing up this thing that Trump said, if the Dow drops 1,000 points in 2 days, the president should be impeached immediately. What if it goes down 2,000 in 20 minutes? Well, did it go down 2,000 in 20 minutes? Let's see. Let's check out the Dow Jones here. What was the drop here? Let's see. Dow Jones Industrial Average. Now, I'm sure. Okay, so it has gone down 1,400 today, which is 5%. Now, I gotta tell you something. Yes, Tyler. Yes, by the way, good morning, Tyler F., who just explained a little bit of it right there. Markets worldwide are down because right now Saudi Arabia and the Russians are in fact doing what Tyler said there in the chat. They're fighting out about oil prices right now. There's a little bit of a price war on oil. Now that's fascinating too, because OPEC was set to try to slow their production so they could get the prices back up, and Russia declined, and so now the Saudis decided, well, fine, then we're gonna have a little bit of a we're gonna have a little bit of a price war in oil. Now, and so that's part of the problem too. And then obviously the coronavirus is causing travel issues, all kinds of things. Good morning, Necro. I duck in to say hi. I have to duck out again. Hit that like. Yeah, hit the like button while you're here. Also, make sure you, if you're not subscribed. And if you could please share the stream out. I put the tweet up in the chat there somewhere. If you scroll all the way up to the top of the chat, you can retweet the tweet, or you can just hit the share button down there. Well, it's more like down there. Hit that share button and share this out with your friends, neighbors, and other people you interact with on the internets. So people are just going nuts. And this hashtag market crash. The market crash was created by media. This is interesting. BT Samuel says the market crash was created by media. Stuff like this did not happen with Ebola. Also, the flu has so far killed more people than this coronavirus. 20,000 so far this season. The U.S. market really needs to be resilient to non-factors. Its fluctuation is annoying because people are panicking about shit, and people are so quick to I think you know what I'm about to say. It's all about Trump, right? Breaking. The U.S. stock market has just been halted because it dropped too quickly. Meanwhile, our president is tweeting about Obama. Whatever. Scott Dworkin. He's another Trump hater. Trading just halted the New York Stock Exchange after it dropped almost 1,900 points this morning. Maybe if Trump didn't spend the weekend on vacation, it wouldn't have been so bad. What the hell are you talking about? What in God's name are you talking about? Trump could have been in Sicily or in South Korea or whatever. Nothing he would have done today would have changed this market thing today. Again. Okay, so stocks are halted after trading level 1 circuit breaker. So S&P falls 7% in trading, halt for 15 minutes. S&P falls 13%, trading will halt for 15 minutes. S&P falls 20%, trading will halt for the rest of the day. Because people are losing their damn minds. It's all about this little oil thing, I think, though. Anyway, so let's see a couple stories on this real quick. Here's the Breitbart story. Market mayhem, oil crashes, U.S. stock futures tank, bond yields plummet, and trading curbs kick in. Now, here's the one thing about the bond yields plummeting. This, over the next couple days, with the bond yields plummeting, that means a lot of interest rates tied to bond yields are going to go down. Great time to borrow, okay? And this is a blip. This is nothing about fundamentals. This is about panic over coronavirus, which will end at some point. And this is about this is about the oil price war right now, which will end. If you're not retiring in the next 10 years, there's a lot of people with a lot of money out there that are shorting and buying right now because they know it's going to come back up. This is, I think some of this is probably day trader induced panic. But remember, look, now I showed you let me show you the graphic that I used for my, the stream today. Let's see if I can find it here. Pictures. Here's the graphic for the stream today. Hang on a second. Why is that not popping up? There it is. Here's the thumbnail for today. Now, this is hysteria taking its toll. Now, this is the stock market. I think this starts here. This is 2016 right here. If you see my arrow, moving around down there. There's 2016. 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. Notice this all goes up. There's a blip down here, but then this goes up, and there's a blip here in 2019, and then it still goes up, and it's down here, okay? Note that we're still up for 3 years, okay? And it's up, okay? This isn't going to go back down to here, and even if it does, if you're not retiring for the next 10 years, if you're not planning on doing something with the money that you have invested, or if you have, let's say you're in a retirement plan, okay, and your 401ks and your sometimes some pensions funds are use the stock market. Don't look at it right now. Don't panic. Don't buy the hysteria. Okay. Now, if you're retiring Wednesday, okay, that means you didn't start here. Okay, you didn't start here when you decided to retire. If you have a 401k, you didn't. If you're retiring next week, you didn't start your 401k 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, right? You probably started it long before this little 2016. In fact, you probably started it the other way. Way over there. Way over there. Right? So you should be up from when you started your 401ks. Okay? You may have lost a little bit compared to what you've had in there for years, but for the stuff you had in there for years is way up. In fact, over the last, 10 years, I think? 10, 15 years? It's more than doubled. Okay, so let's not freak out over stuff like this. Anyway, back to the Breitbart article, excuse me. E-mini futures on the S&P 500 dropped by 5% in overnight trading Sunday, triggering automatic trading curbs that kick in when the price falls below 5% of the closing price of the referenced index on Friday. As a result, the futures contracts cannot trade at a lower price until the crash market opens at 9:30 a.m., although trades may still be made at higher prices. The last time futures trading hit the overnight limit was election night of 2016, when the markets initially sold off following the news that Donald Trump had won the election. That selling pressure quickly subsided, and the major indexes closed up by around 1% or so the following day. And now remember, just a couple days ago, we had one of these. Was it 3 or 4? Was it last week? Sometime in the middle of last week, we had one of these. Big dip. And it went right back up a couple days later. There were corrections. So, let's see. Oh, I just looked in it after 10 years and oh, God, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, baby, yes. Anyway, so now let's talk about how the virus has been affecting the economy. Okay, so this is from, let's see, what's this from? City Journal, which is not it's a fairly middle of the road. I wouldn't say, well, it's moderates. Hello, Tales of Gore. I said, P diggity dig dang dingle. Anyway, all right. So, the spread of coronavirus has led to fears of a worldwide economic slowdown. China, where the virus first leaped into human population, has quarantined large sections of the country, virtually shutting down economic activity in South Korea. Remember, too, as this virus subsides, do you think economic activity will ramp back up, or do you think it'll be permanently stopped? Just answer my question. Is it gonna be? I'm just saying. By the way, they think they're gonna have a vaccine within the next 6 to 9 months. In South Korea, several companies, including the automaker Hyundai, closed facilities when workers there tested positive for the virus. The Italian government, meantime, has shuttered schools and universities, banned public attendance at sporting events, including the nation's popular soccer league, for 30 days. Such responses, likely to spread to other countries as the virus itself travels, have led to estimates that the containment efforts could cut worldwide economic growth in half this year. Whether that prediction proves accurate or whether the toll proves even worse may depend on how the economic impact of the virus plays out in the United States, the world's largest and most consequential economy. The U.S. has already taken several basic steps to stem the spread of the virus. Oh, we have? Really? Have we? No. I didn't know that. If you were watching the knuckleheads on Twitter, you would think that Trump hasn't done a damn thing about it and doesn't care. Huh, that's amazing. The U.S. has already taken several basic steps to stem the spread of the virus, including suspending flights from China and quarantining those returning from areas of the world where the infection is most intense. But as the virus spreads, officials contemplate stricter measures. These include banning public gatherings such as concerts, movies, sporting events, advising businesses to keep workers home, and even shutting down firms where the virus is detected. It might even be easy to justify such draconian measures based on the toll that the coronavirus can take on society, but what's also worth contemplating is the human toll that a potentially sharp decline in economic activity would exact. While the simplest way to measure an economy may be in dollars and cents, economic activity also produces well-being. The decline in the economy sparks deterioration in public welfare. Those are human costs that must be measured against the inevitable cost of the virus itself. Extended school closures, for example, place a burden on employed parents who must miss long periods of work, on households living paycheck to paycheck, and on the self-employed. Now, you know what's funny about this? Good morning, Becca. So a lot of people are starting to go, if we had universal health care and more paid leave and blah, 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 all of Bernie Sanders' policies, we would be just in the pink, wouldn't we? You know what's funny about this? And saying like, the virus is spreading in the U.S. and if we had socialized medicine, if we had single payer health care, that wouldn't have happened. Doesn't China have free health care or something like that? Doesn't Italy, where it's really spreading badly right now, don't they have European style healthcare? France, where it's spreading, don't they have free healthcare? It's not about what kind of healthcare you have. It's a virus. It doesn't care what kind of healthcare you have. It don't care. And so far, knock on wood, it hasn't spread in a fashion yet in the United States. It was in a country of 20 million people or whatever we are. Hasn't spread that far yet, but I'm not saying it's not going to. But remember, the people dying too are mostly in their 80s. The average person dying from this is 81 years old. And we're still pretty early in this. Remember H1N1? H1N1, that the virus that the bird flu or swine flu or whatever that happened during the Obama administration. Now, there's some reports that Obama didn't do anything about this until there were 1,000 deaths. That's not true. They also had similar protocols from the CDC, the same protocols that we're using now, right? The same protocols we're using now, then we're using now. But remember, how many people died from that? How many people died from H1N1? I think it's in the United States. It was a pretty big number. Let's see. 19,000 people in the U.S. Is that just the U.S.? in the U.S. Let's try that. Wikipedia. Okay, Americans. 59 million Americans contracted the H1N1 virus. 59 million contracted it, and 12,000 died. And now we have COVID-19 coronavirus. Still in the early stages. Fortunately for the United States, the timing of its coming here has some excuse me as far as the time of year when we're starting to get into the warmer weather season, when those kind of viruses tend to be mitigated, we're running into that spring season where it's the end of that season that those kinds of things happen. All right. So anyway, let's see. A decline in the economy. Let's see. Okay, here we go. But what's also worth contemplating is the human toll that a potentially sharp decline in economic activity would exact. While the simplest way to measure an economy may be in dollars and cents, economic activity also produces well-being. A decline in the economy sparks deterioration of public welfare. Those are the human costs that must be measured against the inevitable cost of the virus itself. We already read that part. The current economic expansion, more than a decade old, demonstrates the salutary impact of good times. U.S. unemployment rates have plunged to such low levels that the demand for workers has started luring back the chronically unemployed, people who drop out of the workforce, into the labor market. One result is that the labor participation rate, which has slid by several percentage points over 15 years, has sharply rebounded in the past 4 years. Companies now desperate for employees have extended their employment search to new markets, hiring the disabled and long-term unemployed, and investing heavily in retraining out of work but willing job seekers. This robust employment picture makes a sharp contrast with the American labor situation after the financial meltdown and recession of 2008 and 2009. As unemployment rates soared into double digits, businesses failed, individual finances deteriorated, and associated health problems began to proliferate. Research published last year in Clinical Psychological Science found that people who lost their jobs, watched their savings evaporate, or struggled to keep their homes suffered the long-term psychological effects, including debilitating periods of anxiety and depression. Unemployment, the most human measure of economic failure, carries especially harsh consequences. According to a 2014 Gallup poll, it's on the stream, the unemployed were twice as likely to say that they were depressed as those with jobs. Well, that's a shocker. Those without a job for a year were even in worse shape. They were twice as likely to be as those unemployed for only a month to say that they were depressed. Suicide rates also track with economic decline. As unemployment rates rise, so do suicides. Those out of work are also twice as likely to abuse drugs as those employed full-time. Divorce rates for the unemployed are similarly double the average for those with jobs. Economic decline does not paint a happy human picture. Now, here's the problem. No easy ways exist to balance the economic cost of efforts to contain the virus with the toll that the virus itself takes on society. We still don't know enough about the virus because we lack adequate information, including such crucial factors as how deadly it really is. Oh, we're going to get to that in a minute, though. And who it affects. Even the experts have disagreed. In recent days, growing evidence suggests that our approach should be surgical rather than broad-based. Widespread quarantines and wholesale shutdowns of communities, for example, inevitably suppress the economy. Instead, we should focus our efforts on helping those overwhelmingly more vulnerable to the virus, like the elderly. And in fact, my wife, who works in in the spheres of assisted living, even though she no longer runs a facility, she's still in that sphere. And they were saying that, their biggest concern in their profession right now in all their facilities is to make sure that we are even a hint of having those signs of that particular virus. You need to stay out of the workplace because you are dealing with old people who are more susceptible to the virus and to dying from the virus. Good morning, MC.
Hammer time.
So, Harvard Medical School Professor Jeremy Samuel Foss, writing recently in Slate. Good morning, Struggling Paradox, too. Hey, nice to see you here. By the way, Struggling Paradox, who just joined the chat, is one of those people who doesn't get to see the show live that often and usually has to watch the replays. And I do appreciate you putting for commenting on the replays. That helps you know that you're here, and I appreciate you very much. Let's just say that right now. All right. Anyway, Sound writing recently in Slate argues that the latest data suggests that coronavirus is far less deadly than previously thought. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm still gonna come back to that. Oh, because you'll hear in a minute. Where the actual mortality rate turned out to be 1/10. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. Far less deadly than previous thought. Something we have discovered in the aftermath of previous epidemics, such as the 2009 H1N1 flu outbreak, where the actual mortality rate turned out to be 1/10 what it was first reported. Increasingly, it seems that the coronavirus commonly takes a mild form, and that the severe cases are especially rare among the young. The most vulnerable population is the elderly, which is what I just said. One recent report in Italy found that the average age of those who had died in the country was 80. Actually, it was 81. On the Diamond Princess, the cruise ship that was quarantined, 705 people tested positive for the virus, and 6 died. All were over 70. Hello, C. Thomas. How you doing? These rates are consistent with what we know about the flu. Every year, as many as 80% to 90% of those who die from seasonal influenza are elderly, many with health problems that the infection worsens. And good morning, Lamented Guide. How you doing? This suggests that COVID-19 is a relatively benign disease for most young people, and a potentially devastating one for the old and chronically ill, albeit not nearly as risky as reported, Faust writes. In particular, we need to focus on the right people and the right places. Nursing homes, not schools. Hospitals, not planes. Good morning, Hate Camel, also. The biggest worry is that in the general panic over the coronavirus, as healthy young people rush out to stockpile supplies and government shut down soccer games, we'll fail to direct our efforts where they are most needed. What worries me most is that the people are going to be so panicked that they will overwhelm the healthcare system and just push to the side people who really do need medical attention, said Paul Offit, a physician and infectious disease expert at the University of Pennsylvania, in a recent interview. He noted that we've already seen probably 18,000 deaths this year in America from the flu, yet we're far more terrified of coronavirus. Maybe we need to give an influenza virus a scarier name. Many of those who die of flu reside in nursing homes, yet our efforts to protect them are sometimes wanting. Key person, and that, you know what, here's the thing. When my father-in-law went into transitional care and went into, went into vulnerable care, we always made sure that everyone in our family got flu shots, because it wasn't so much the flu was going to damage us. We could get the flu and have no problem, but if we caused him to get the flu, that could be deadly for him. And that's the thing. These, again, we're this acting very much like other flus, and there's probably, well, I'll get to that in a minute. I'll talk to you in a minute. Anyway, many of those who die from flu reside in nursing homes. Yeah, okay. Key personnel can be untrained in how to recognize or handle infectious diseases among the elderly. According to the Centers for Disease Control, more than 30% of the staff who work in nursing homes don't get vaccinated themselves, making them potential transmitters of the flu. Yes, that is definitely a problem. Good morning to Irish Rose also. Hi there. 5 patients have already died of coronavirus at a long-term care facility in Seattle that previously had been cited for inadequate infection control measures, suggesting that we are making the same mistakes with coronavirus that we make with the flu. I think that is also perhaps why Governor Jay Inslee has kind of changed his tune a little bit as far as how the Trump administration, the administration, not necessarily Trump. He still has sharp words for Trump, but he was very congenial with Mike Pence. So that saying that Mike Pence was doing a great job helping them get, and the CDC and the whole group was helping them, get through this, this thing. Good morning, Senator Lindsay. Good morning, Merle Davis. I see you all popped in also. So it can be hard making good public policy when accurate information is so scarce. In the U.S., we've been fortunate so far in part because of our distance from the initial outbreak, and in part because of how early measures like banning flights from China. Remember they ridiculed him for banning flights from China? Him being that one orange guy in the White House. Yes, they gave him so much crap for that, saying, "Oh, you're just overreacting and how racist, yada, xenophobic, blah 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 blah." We've been fortunate so far in part because of our distance from the initial outbreak, and in part because of how early measures like banning flights from China have slowed the progress of the virus here. But we should pay close attention to how some of the more extreme measures to shut down public activities in places like Italy play out. It's tempting to see such bans as the safest route to take in an emergency, and in some circumstances they may be, but we can't ignore the human cost of a widespread economic shutdown. So there you go. Thank you for the super chat from Lamented Guide. Says some of my medical customers are nursing homes, and yeah, some of these places are nasty. Government-run ones are the worst of the lot. You know what? I fortunately have not had. I don't have a lot of experience with any government-run facilities. I've only seen the ones that my wife is involved with, and they do a pretty good job. But again, like I said, they said very particularly that they've got their protocols in place for things like this, and they have been making sure that, hey, you got to, even any symptoms, you got to figure it out before you come back into work. We got to take care of people. We got everyone, making sure everyone has flu shots, which is crazy. It's crazy that people who work in a nursing home would have not had flu shots. Not so much that they don't get it, so that they don't carry it into the nursing home, because those are vulnerable people. Anyway, good morning to DI Freighter Watcher. How you doing? Lurking, but thumbs up. Thank you. Yeah, hit the thumbs up button, people. If you're here, thumbs it up. Thumb it up. Love how quickly they would change their mind, something Trump did, then suddenly call it good and forget it was his decision. Yeah, isn't that the truth? Okay, so now, speaking of which, remember the mainstream. Now, this is from my one of my favorite, my favorite news aggregators and blogs, the Ace of Spades. Didn't the mainstream media mock President Trump for saying exactly this? That COVID-19 mortality may be significantly lower than originally reported. So here is the who is this? Admiral Brett Girar, Assistant Secretary of Health at Health and Human Services. Here's what he's saying, that the mortality rate is much lower than they initially thought. Let's hear his words. Oh, maybe we'll have to go into Twitter to hear it, but here we go. All right.
Very early in understanding. We are still very early in understanding. All the evidence isn't there, so I want to caveat that. But to set some foundation, the typical mortality rate for seasonal flu is about 0.1% or 0.15%. The best estimates now of the overall mortality rate for COVID-19 is somewhere between 0.1% and 1%.
Not the
That's
2 to
lower
3%
than you've heard
range.
probably in many reports. Why is this? Number one is because many people don't get sick and don't get tested. So probably and this is reflects the overseas experience. So probably for every case, there are at least 2 or 3 cases that are not in the denominator. So I just want to sort of
the reason for that is because younger people don't necessarily show the symptoms and probably aren't getting tested, but they have it.
that it's certainly could be higher than normal flu. It probably is, but it's not likely in the range of 2 to 3%. So our best modeling, again, you have a denominator problem, and I want you to understand that only the people who are really sick or have symptoms come in and get tested. So based on the models we have right now, we estimate the mortality as 0.1 to 1%. It is likely not in the range of 2 to 3%.
Okay, so that's that. So here's the editorial on this one. Anyone with an ounce of common sense and basic understanding of numbers could have predicted that the original reports of high mortality were almost certainly incorrect, but our news is reported by people who give okay, this is an editorial comment, but our news is reported by people who give short bus riders a bad name, and they have created a hysteria that we see today for no other reason than to wound the current administration. I can see no other obvious reason other than their typical love of histrionics. But this morning's front page article about chaos in the White House is typical of the New York Times, but the rest of the media seems to be trying to outdo even the socialists on the Hudson. What exactly do the squawking fools of the New York Times want the federal government to do about coronavirus? Close the nation's schools? With what authority? Shut down air traffic? How? Close the borders? Oh, wait, we can't do that. The reality is that those same editors have fought every measure designed to prevent communicable diseases, a communicable disease called AIDS. As a result, thousands of Americans and many more Africans are dead because disease is a political tool, not a public health issue for the scum who run the Gray Lady, which is a laugher of a nickname, more like the painted whore of 8th Avenue. I love this editorial anyway, because they can say whatever the hell they want. How will the virus play out isn't anyone's guess, but odds are that it will settle into a seasonal disease like flu with similar outcomes, and all predictions are that we will have a vaccine soon. So the existential extrapolations of millions of deaths and global recession are wildly overblown. That's why I say bye, bye, bye. What is sad is that the media's irresponsibility is glaringly obvious because they had focused their attentions in a responsible way to seasonal flu, then we could be making meaningful progress in minimizing its damage, which will most probably dwarf that of coronavirus. Yeah, look, I say it over and over. There have been more than 18,000 deaths this flu season. It is no one's talking about that. Nobody's talking about that. And again, 12,000 people died from that H1N1 scare, which was supposed to kill us all. Remember that? Remember the bird? Everyone was like, "Oh no, the bird flu, the bird flu, the bird flu, the bird flu." During the Obama administration. Now, and again, the same protocols for these types of issues that happened then are happening now. No, they didn't. Everyone's like, "Oh, Trump closed down this particular this place that does this kind of stuff," and they cut the budgets of the CDC and the bullshit. No, they didn't. They set up a protocol in 2018. The whole pamphlet's there online. They haven't cut the budgets to the CDC or the National Institute of Health. Okay. Now, did they propose some cuts? Yes, some minor cuts to some redundancies. But they still have the protocols in place. You lying bastards. All right, let's move on. First of all, before I move on, though, thank you, Becca Farley, Grillin' Pirate Pete, Tyler F., Necrosol Collins, all who have tweeted out the show this morning. If you haven't done that, please. Now, here's the thing. Right over there. See that thing down there? It says Twitter, mine's Gab, at PDawg Night. That's what I am on those three things. If you are on any of those things, go and follow me on one of those. And also, please make sure that you retweet or share this stream out with people. I'm 6 people shy. Six 6 shy of 600. That's been like, when did I hit 500? I gotta go back and look. That was like 2 months ago. So we've had about 100 people in the last couple of months. That's awesome. Thank you again, James Colley, for another super chat. Quote, as a former short bus rider, I resent that remark. Those peeps know what their favorite flavor of window is, though. Just saying. Oh, the window licking joke. That is classic. That is classic. That's classic. What's the one in the Lord? That's classic Lords of the Night fodder. Y'all crack me up. All right, let's that music just go up louder. Can you still hear me fine? I hope you can. If you can't, let me know in the chat. All right, let's talk about some other things besides coronavirus and the waiting stock market. I didn't tell you the joke of the day. Usually I have a joke on Monday, so let's just tell the joke now. It's, again, courtesy of the Ace of Spades. It's a funny one today. A teacher asked the class to use the word fascinate in a sentence. Molly put up her hand and said, my father went to my granddad's farm and we all saw his pet sheep. It was fascinating. The teacher said, that was good, but I wanted you to use the word fascinate, not fascinating. Sally raised her hand and she said, my family went to see Rock City and I was fascinated. The teacher again said, well, that was good, Sally, but I wanted you to use the word fascinate. Little Johnny raised his hand, but the teacher hesitated because she had been burned by Little Johnny before. But she finally decided there was no way he could damage the word fascinate, so she called on him. Johnny said, my Aunt Carolyn has a sweater with 10 buttons, but her boobs are so big she can only fascinate. The teacher sat down and cried. That's actually very funny. Okay, moving on. Let's see. I already did that. All right, let's move on. I was going to talk a little bit about Joe Biden's. Well, let's just check out some headlines real quick, because I was going to do some headlines. There's all kinds of things going on, but I don't want to get into them too deep. Okay. So first of all, as you may know, Donald Trump appoints Mark Meadows as the new White House chief of staff. Mark Meadows he's congressman. I'm trying to think where Mark Meadows is from. Here, hang on a second. North Carolina Republican Mark Meadows. It will be his new chief of staff Friday night, replacing Mick Mulvaney. Now, if you didn't know that, Mark Meadows was not running for re-election in Congress. So it wasn't like he's taking somebody out that's not going to be there anyway. I don't know if he's finishing out his term. Let's see. Meadows announced in December that he would retire at the end of his term. This was a decision I struggled with greatly, the congressman wrote in a statement at the time. So he's been in Congress for 8 years. But it's unclear who will replace Meadows in his many roles in the House of Representatives during the duration of his term. So he's not leaving the House, technically. But he's going to be the chief of staff. I don't know how you double duty that, but anyway, moving on. What else here? Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Now, I find humor in this, especially after that last debate, or that one debate, I should say, not necessarily the last debate. But Kamala Harris endorsed frontrunner Joe Biden for president on Sunday, saying that he had served the country with dignity. Here's the thing. As the establishment Democrats push Joe Biden and push away Bernie Sanders, because I think Bernie Sanders is done as far as the nomination. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe Joe Biden will do a gaffe so big that they can't ignore it, but they're trying to ignore it, and they're trying to play it off as ableism and ageism, calling it a stutter and all this other shit, right? But they're gonna try to push Bernie's side, and Joe Biden's gonna be the one, right? And here's the selling point for Joe Biden, because there is no selling point for Joe Biden other than he was Barack Obama's vice president, and well, there is nothing else. Okay, there's nothing else except you're gonna hear the word over and over and over: dignity. Dignified. Dignity, dignified. That's all they're going to say. That's his selling point. Dignity, dignified. I can't remember whether he's wearing pants, but he certainly is dignified, right? Except when he loses his mind and starts yelling at people and calling people fat and you're a what's that word?
You're a lying dog faced pony soldier.
And he starts saying really weird shit on the champion show. Why? Remember that one? But that's the rap. Hello, Augusto Pinochet. So anyway, he has served the country with dignity, and he cares about people, and therefore unify the people. Harris spoke in Alabama, from where she intended to commemorate the 55th anniversary of Bloody Sunday, when police beat civil rights protesters attempting to walk across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma to Montgomery. The choice of civil rights anniversary to endorse Biden echoed recent themes from the campaign in its outreach to African American voters, though it was also curious as Harris memorably attacked Biden during her campaign for his alleged weaknesses on civil rights issues. In the first Democrat debate in Miami, Florida last summer, Harris said, quote, "I'm going to direct this at Vice President Biden. I do not believe you are a racist, and I agree with you when you commit yourself to the importance of finding common ground. But I also believe, and it's personal, and I was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And you know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools, and she was bused to school every day, and that little girl was me. So I will tell you that on this subject, it cannot be an intellectual debate among Democrats. We have to take it seriously." So anyway, she anyway. Apparently, Joe telegraphed this endorsement coming in because on Saturday when he was in St. Louis, he accidentally thanked Kamala's people. And here it is. Who did he thank?
And by the way, to all of Amy's folks, to all the Pete's folks, to all the Kamala's folks, to all the folks who have Beto's folks, I tell you what a gigantic difference it's made.
Yeah, Kamala Harris hadn't endorsed him yet. But anyway, he knew it was coming. Speaking of flubs, I don't know if I have this one, but also Amy Klobuchar made a flub this weekend. And it's possible that it says she misspoke. Where is it? Is this in here? I had this somewhere here. Let's see. No, that's the speech. Let's see. Coronavirus. Done with that. Oh, one more on coronavirus. I might skip that one. Where is it? Why do I got volleyball players on here? Oh, that was the one. Okay, I clicked that. Anyway, Anyway, Amy Klobuchar made a mistake of something about, she was making a speech, I want to say in Kansas City or something, and she said something about it's a great way to end her campaign by joining the Biden ticket. The Biden ticket. Biden ticket. Now she later corrected herself, saying, no, just to be out there as a surrogate for the campaign. Did Joe Biden, did he offer Amy Klobuchar the vice president spot on his ticket? I mean, he wants a woman on his ticket, right? He said that earlier this year. Anyway. Oh, yeah, here it is. Here it is. hang on. Minnesota. No, wait, let's go full screen here so you can see the whole thing there. That should work. There we go. Minnesota Democrat Amy Klobuchar appeared to let a very large cat out of the bag during a stump speech for Vice President Joe Biden. Klobuchar, who was rallying for Biden in Grand Rapids Saturday, appeared to admit that she would be Biden's choice for vice president. Bit of a Freudian slip while stumping for Biden just now in Grand Rapids. Amy Klobuchar says she couldn't think of a better way to end my candidacy than join the ticket. To big applause. Then she quickly corrected to say, join a terrific campaign of join Joe Biden. So they think, goodbye, Pete Buttigieg. No soup for you, Bloomy. Forget about it, Kamala and Stacey. It's Klobuchar. Klobuchar. I keep saying char. She actually pronounces Klobuchar. Anyway. Now, she later walked it back. Oh, yeah. Klobuchar has since walked back her statement, probably based on the angry phone calls from bitter Democratic vice president wannabes, people who have no problem acting as the bottom half of a losing ticket. But we heard her the first time. You mean a mean comb eating? You heard the eating salad with a comb story. Comb eating Klobuchar, who can't keep staff, combined with an addled, corrupt, and also mean thing, sounds like just the ticket combo to beat Trump, right? Anyway, so she did walk it back, but hey, did she let a cat out of the bag that should have been staying in the bag and drowning in the river? I don't know. Wow, that was really an awful thing to say, wasn't it? Anyway. Other headlines. Let's see. Staffer brag about working for Bruni on Bloomberg's dime. I'm not going to even do that. Now this is an interesting. So we had a lot of words from Elizabeth Warren. Everyone wants to say, "Oh, Elizabeth Warren is if she were a man, she'd be a front runner." So they're kind of blaming the waning campaign of Elizabeth Warren on sexism, right? Trying to kind of pull the sexism card. And if she were, everyone's saying if she were a woman. Well, here, Jeffrey Greenfield has an interesting take. Jeffrey Greenfield says Elizabeth Warren lost because women are sexist. Only 1 in 4 women voted for Warren. The other 3 out of 4 must be sexist, right? Senator Elizabeth Warren, née Herring, only lost the Democratic primaries because of sexism. Hillary Clinton blamed Warren's setbacks on unconscious bias and gendered language. If only the media had referred to Warren as him or Zer while being unconscious, it might be the nominee. Sexism sank Elizabeth Warren, bleats the nation. Gender is at the core of this, Salon insists. There's no such thing as gender when it comes to castrating 7-year-old boys or in weightlifting competitions, but it is a serious problem for the political ambitions of a millionaire 70-year-old professors. Vox even falsely claims that women are feeling defeated after Elizabeth Warren's loss. If women are feeling so defeated by Warren's primary faceplant, why didn't they vote for her? In her home state of Massachusetts, 34% of women voted for Joe Biden, 36% for Bernie Sanders, and only 24% for her. That's 1 in 4 women. The other 3 out of 4 Democrat women must be sexist. Among white women with college degrees, a third voted for her, but only 15% of white women with no degrees did. But obviously anyone who didn't go to college must be a sexist pig, right? Half of Democrats who identify as women also, as opposed to ducks, maple trees, or windshield wipers, voted for Joe Biden. 17% for Sanders, 12% for Tom Steyer, and Warren tied with Buttigieg at 8%. So Democrats must be sexist. And in South Carolina, quite a few of them would have been black women. Black voters make up 55% of the Democrats in that state. A vast majority of black women didn't pick Liz Warren. Something must be off. Sexism, obviously, or maybe witchcraft, space aliens, and Russian bots. Okay, enough of that. Anyway, you get the point, right? You get the point. Women are sexist, and the Democrats are super, super duper sexist because they knocked out 5 of the 6 women, 4 out of the 5 women. See, there's still 1 woman left in the race, but they don't like her because she supported Bernie in 2016, so she's persona non grata. The Democrats are sexist and racist. They have 2 old white men running for president. Just saying. I'm just saying. Let's see. Most risks, but not canceling. Oh, good God. Michigan Teachers Unions revs up Red for Ed attacks President Trump ahead of primary. I don't care. Let's move on. North Carolina citizens who schooled city council gun controllers wins lieutenant governor primary. Oh. How purple can Trump make the Golden State this November? Do you think Trump will do well in California this year? I don't know. He's not going to win California, but that'd be interesting if he got close in California. Look, here's the thing. Now if Bernie somehow pulls it out, I already predicted that Trump would win 45 states. Now Joe Biden is a different animal because he's that establishment Democrat, and the established Democrats will go hard for the established Democrat. But Joe, I'm just seeing the excuse me. I'm just seeing the ads. Just nothing but Joe flubs. Nothing but Joe flubs. Maybe, who knows, if Joe Biden wins the nomination and something goes wrong, are they going to try to push somebody else in there? Are they going to do Trojan horse on us? I think this is crazy because there's still a few pundits that say that Hillary Clinton could end up being the nominee. I don't think so, but could you imagine? And imagine what's going to happen if Trump wins the popular vote, not just the electoral college, but the popular vote. All those states who have passed those laws where they're the National Popular Vote Project, where the states saying that, well, we will give our electors to whoever wins the popular vote. Now, it hasn't kicked in yet because they haven't gotten enough states to join in. How many of those states do you think will repeal that law immediately if Trump wins the popular vote? Okay. Anyway, let's see. What else is going on? Rabbi Fisher, Democrat, over diversity now transitions to white grumpy old men. Can Andrew Yang... Oh, Andrew Yang is thinking of running for New York mayor. Can Andrew Yang really become mayor of Gotham? Andrew Yang is considering a run for mayor in New York City, and it's not just a pipe dream. To understand mayoral politics in New York City, you have to think about 2 basic facts. First, the city is 5-1 Democrat to Republican. 2, since 1992, non-Democrats have been the mayor for 20 years. Rudy Giuliani and Mike Bloomberg, and a Democrat Bill de Blasio for only 7. Today's Democratic Party in the Big Apple is no Tammany Hall. The city's voters are willing to vote for outsiders. The news is now swirling that former presidential candidate and famed Asian good with math Andrew Yang is considering a run for Gracie Mansion. That's where the mayor lives. Right off the bat, it's one of those wonderfully provocative and political ideas to consider. But in practice, what would it look like? The first question to Yang is whether Yang would run in the Democratic primary or launch an independent bid. Let's assume he does the former. This is a heavy lift. He has no substantial contacts to the local party and would only have until November 2021 to develop them. There are also rumors that Representative Hakeem Jeffries, Democrat from New York of impeachment fame, is weighing his own candidacy for mayor, which he will probably win if he does. Wait, has the information that will lead to the arrest and incarceration been? Are you, dude? Augusto Pinochet. Are you trying to get me hurt? I have information that will lead to the arrest and incarceration. Hey, what the hell? You trying to get me damaged? Anyway, let's see. One way to yourself to a political party, in fact, is the best way to do so is to give the party tons of cash. On Friday, Yang announced the launch of his new nonprofit, Move Humanity Forward. The organization will support candidates in favor of universal basic income, a fancy way to say 1,000 smackers a month for everyone. That, holy shit, that is just, stop it. Please stop with the UBI for now. Look, it's a bribe. It's a bribe. And guess what? If you have UBI, basically that's just, again, that's just communism in some sort of way. Where are you going to get this $1,000 a month that you're going to give to everybody in the country? That's 320 million. That's like $4 trillion. Seriously, dude? Come on. Wait. Now, he says $1,000 to every, is it every person? Every man, woman, and child? What is this? I don't know. Anyway, another potential advantage to Yang is the appeal he could have to the Asian community. Asians are 14% of New York City population, significantly behind white and black voters, but on par with Latinos. It is quite a political constituency, but one which could be awoken. Do you think just because he's Asian, they're going to vote for him? Is this, look, do y'all realize whoever, now, I know, this is the Federalist, whoever wrote this, not all Asians are the same. Now, there's a huge Chinese population in New York City, but there are other Asians in New York City. Anyway, Yang running for mayor of New York, that I find that humorous. All right, quickie headlines, and then we're going to get into the Twitter trends. Let's see. Italy moving to Chinese-style quarantine. Over 25% of its population is going to be quarantined. That's significant. Let's see. There's a new American coronavirus patient in Nebraska, a 36-year-old woman who has been rushed to biocontainment in critical condition. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we already talked about how the liberals mocked Trump for saying coronavirus mortality rate was lower than initially reported. Now the health officials confirm he was right. Is there anyone in news who's going to admit that, though? Probably not. And MSNBC's Stephanie Ruhle pushes back after Elon Musk calls coronavirus panic dumb. Isn't it kind of dumb, though? Apparently, let's see. There may be unnecessary precautions. Here, let me put this on the screen. Here's what she says. There may be unnecessary precautions and panic, Elon Musk, but consider what is driving it. When faced with risk, the best way to manage overreaction is expert leadership providing honest information. The absence of that logically sparks overreaction. So what exactly is dumb? Whatever. Who cares? Look, MSNBC, I'm going to guess that you guys are probably the ones who are not listening to the people giving you the correct information because you have an agenda. All right, let's just start with that. How about that? What's the line? Who is it? I want to say one of those stupid teens that always says something about that. Anyway. Let's see. Oh, Donald Trump Jr. challenges Hunter Biden to a debate. Have you heard of this one too? A debate on whose son benefited most from their father's time in office. Oh my God! You know, Donald Trump Jr. I think pretty sure that Donald Trump Jr. was already part of the company or something that he was running when his dad became president, and Hunter Biden has become insanely rich since after his father became vice president. I don't know. So the media's there's a firm link to Hunter Biden and Burisma lobbied for Ukrainian group accused of smearing anti-corruption organization. That's interesting. We're not going to get into it though. We got to get into Twitter trends because I'm running out of time here. So let's just check out let's just check out Twitter today. Let's see if that hashtag market crash is still trending number one. Yes, it is. But let's hit the Explore tab, see what they have on the top. Coronavirus cases in Spain grow rapidly as South Korea reports big reductions. Oh, well, let's see. Total number of global cases surpassed 106,000, including more than 3,800 fatalities. Over 60,000 patients are reported to have recovered. Get the latest updates from around the world. You know, they keep giving these worldwide numbers. Let's remember the population of the Earth. 7 billion people on Earth. But every day we get the update. And you know what? We need to hear how it spreads and where it's spreading. And it's interesting because you don't hear about... There's cases in Nigeria and Ivory Coast, and they don't talk about those as much. You know, you just wonder how the WHO is handling cases in places where it's more difficult to take care of people. I don't know. Over 100 countries have now reported cases, at least 10 dead after a hotel used as a quarantine facility collapses in China. Oh, good Lord. You're there to be taken care of for coronavirus, and the facility collapses. Oh, brutal. South Korea reports decline in new cases for the fourth day. Saudi Arabia temporarily closes all schools. Again, there's one of those panic things. Look, the people dying from coronavirus are not probably in schools, okay? It's not. It's affecting old people and medically fragile people that are dying. Northern Italy under lockdown. UK reports third death. U.S. Army halts movement of troops in Italy and South Korea. Information from WHO, health agencies, and they have. So anyway, they. You can go on. You can get information about this anywhere. U.S. targets cruise lines. France bars big events. Virus updates. U.S. travelers and health problems are being told to avoid cruise ships as nation prepares for more disruptions. And Italy's death toll rose. So they've got maps doing coronavirus. So it's still, we have to be concerned about it. But boy, yeah, good question, Renovasio. Are we all dead yet? No, we are not. And I got to tell you, they're going to be, there's going to be more deaths before this is over. Okay. And you're going to be constantly hearing this is Trump's fault, Trump's fault, Trump's fault. This is a disease that no matter who the president is going to do similar things. Again, remember, 12,000 people died from H1N1 back in 2009. 61 up to 60 million people had it. 12,000 died. So that's, again, the death rate is very low. It's between 0.1% and 1%, or 0.1% and 1%. And it seems as though the same numbers are for this. So the panic is crazy. The panic is, I think, some of it's calculated. Some of the reporting and the constant referencing Trump on this is calculated by news outlets that, rather than really out there to inform the people who have made a decision, editorial decisions on how they're going to point fingers at the news, or with it, not at the news, but with the news, use the news to point fingers. It'll be interesting if this, because of the springtime, whatever, the unfolding of this event in springtime in the U.S., and if they don't get all the cases that people are, panicking about, and there's far fewer deaths than they are panicking about, is Trump going to get any credit for that? Let's say that we end up with, under 1,000 deaths from this coronavirus in the United States, of a country of 320 million people. And then you go back and you're like, wow, that's way less than H1N1, or that's way less than SARS back in the day, or HERS or MERS or any of those other ones that happened during our lifetime. Every freaking 4 or 5 years, there's a new one, right? Will Trump get credit for that? Will the markets rebound? Will the Trump get credit for that? No, they won't. They'll just be like, oh, they're going to find something else to get it for. So I don't listen to the Trump narrative when it comes to this. I just listen to the CDC, National Institute of Health, HHS, the agencies that Trump has out there speaking about. Because Trump doesn't know what he's talking about when he talks about it. And he should just automatically always defer to the people that he's put in charge of it. Even Mike Pence, because Mike Pence he's the guy leading the charge in the United States. He's the one who's listening to everybody and getting the right information. He's the one, even Jay Inslee in the state of Washington has praised for the efforts of the United States. So, Public Enemy, the rap group from the late 80s and 90s, used to have a song called Bring the Noise. I want to have a new song called Ignore the Noise. Okay? Ignore the noise. Trending number 1 on Twitter today is market crash still. Liberty Nation says the pre-market trends that already suggested investors were in for another historic trading session turned out to be a whole lot worse at the opening bell. Pepto-Bismol markets dive on Black Monday. Oh, Oliver Willis, the Mr. DNC himself, asked about the market crash and the market reacting to Trump's coronavirus fumbling. How did he fumble it? You fucking asshole. HHS Secretary Alex Azar merely says President Trump has delivered a historically strong economy and it doesn't address other concerns held by millions. Well, okay, whatever. The coronavirus has been around forever. The COVID-19 is a different strain, just like there's a different strains of the flu. Stop the panic, take precautions, and follow the guidelines for prevention. That's the one everyone should be hearing right now. Moving on, we're done with market crash. Number 2, Cito, Max von Sydow, or Cito, I can't pronounce his name. He's an actor. He's died at age 90. Max von Sydow is famous for playing the priest in The Exorcist. He's been in several other movies. I think he was in one of the Star Wars movies and whatnot, but he's most famous for starring in The Exorcist, and then also The Seventh Seal. He was also in Game of Thrones. He passed away on March 8th. His wife, Catherine, confirmed to the media. So rest in peace, Max von Sydow. I can't try to pronounce it exactly. Trending number 3, cartoons that should return. Oh man, Looney Tunes. That's the only ones that I would say. Oh, Captain Caveman. Oh no, that's Wacky Races. Never mind. Wacky Racers. That was one when I was a kid. Well, it was in reruns when I was a kid. But anyway, this is okay. Name your cartoon. Name your cartoon that needs to come back in the chat. This is a good one. Wacky Races. Let's see. This one says. Wouldn't really mind if Code Lyoko returned somehow. I don't even know what that is. That's let's see here. Shaolin Showdown. That was actually I'm not Shaolin Showdown. Interesting. All these people are so young. Kids Next Door. Come on. These are my God. So Max von Sydow will always be Brewmeister Smith to me. What a legend. Yeah, he was a good actor. He was a character actor. Probably not a household name, but definitely a great actor. There's only one correct answer. Is that Ed, Ed, and Eddie? I don't know what that is. It looks like Ed, Ed, and Eddie. My kids used to watch that. They love that one. The Grim Adventures of Bill and Mandy. Come on. Are only kids doing this one? Look, y'all, make sure y'all tell me Josie and the Pussycats. That was a good one. I'm sorry. Bring back the Looney Tunes. That's me. It's because I'm fucking old. I don't know. Anyway, lots of people giving. Oh, look at that. That's Teen Titans, the original Teen Titans. My kids watched that. I think. I can't remember. Boondocks. Boondocks isn't really gone. Tom and Jerry, pure hatred at its best. Yeah, the old actual that you didn't realize how violent they were until you go back and watch them as an adult. Anything road numbers. Yeah, Schoolhouse Rock. That's one they need to bring back. Man, teach kids some stuff they need to know. Good morning, Kingslayer Damocles, by the way. TC Ball, you're here. Green Badger Outdoors. I think you were already here. Good morning, Jettafine. That's a new name. Make sure you hit the subscribe thing and hit that bell so you get notifications. And Ricky Ravioli. That's another one, too. Grape Ape. Oh, my gosh. That's one I haven't heard in a long time. Again, Courage the Cowardly Dog. That's a good one, too, C. Thomas. Yeah, the cartoons that need to come back. I'm not even going to go through this hashtag anymore. But I am going to go. Thank you for reminding me. Before I go on into trends, I am going to go into PDK News hashtag just to see what's up here because I've been neglecting it lately. And I know, and Gunfox, I am going to do a Gunfox day. Oh, here we go. Oh, there's your coronavirus thing. Spray throat up to 3 times daily to prevent coronavirus. Some frozen Jameson Black Barrel Irish whiskey. There you go. Let's see. New Navy robot sub trained to kill without human control. Uh-oh. What could possibly go wrong? Oh my gosh. Pete, where did you find this? NewScientist.com. New U.S. Navy robot submarine would be able to kill without human control. U.S. Navy is quietly developing armed robot submarines controlled by onboard artificial intelligence. The vessels could potentially kill without explicit human control. The Office of Naval Research is carrying out the project known as PAWG, which is described as budget documents as an autonomous undersea weapon system used for clandestine use. PAWG will increase mission areas into kinetic effects, says the documents. Military speak for destroying things. In particular, Claws will equip robot submarines with sensors and algorithms to carry out complex missions on their own, such as evading anti-submarine. Well, you know what? Oh my gosh. Does anybody really want to see these? AI killing machines underwater? No. What's that dude that there's a video that's singing no, hell to the no, something like that. Not that poorly sung though. Anyway, yeah, what could possibly go wrong? That's brutal. All right, what else we got? Florida school security guard faces charge of possession of firearm on school property, but that's not the worst part of the story. Uh-oh, this is a Florida man story. Thank you, Pirate Pete. Florida man. Come on. Today, internet, what's going on? It doesn't want to load. All right, we'll just check. What the hell is going on here? Let's see. Oh, is that because it's here? Here we go. School security guard accidentally shoots a coworker in the eye at Weston School. Oh my God. Oh, Julian Suarez, 55, was not authorized to have a gun on campus, according to authorities. Of course, it's a Florida man story. Florida man story. Hello, Mr. Scott. A school security guard was arrested Thursday after he accidentally shot his coworker in the eye at a school in Weston. The Broward County Sheriff's Office said Friday in a news release. The incident occurred in the parking lot of the private Sagamont School at 570 Sagamont Way in Weston, where Julio Antonio Suarez, 55 of Lauderdale Lakes, was not authorized to carry a gun, authorities said. Okay, he shot us. Okay, I don't know. That it's kind of a Darwin Award, but it's mostly just what the hell are you doing? He was not supposed to have the gun on campus. Okay, let's see here. What else we got in PDK News? Pete has got some good ones here. Throw in some oil can-sized cup holders, and you easily have the most Australian story of the day. Australian police would like to remind you that lazy boy recliners. What? Hold on. Australian police would like to remind you that lazy boy recliners do not count as car seats. They threw a couple lazy boys in the car. Police in Australia found themselves confused and probably amazed after encountering a van outfitted with 2 lazy boy recliners as back seats. Last Sunday, Westgate Highway Patrol officers were notified of a nearby unregistered vehicle by their patrol car's onboard license plate reader. Once authorities executed a stop on the vehicle, and after a quick chat with the driver, they noticed something odd in the back area of the van. Upon opening the rear door, officers found a 6-year-old boy seated in one of 2 lazy boy recliners, which the vehicle owner purchased and installed in place of the van's factory rear seats. Armchairs weren't free-floating either, as the installation included affixing an alloy block to the seats in order to mate with the factory mounting hardware. While the department's Facebook page post explaining the stop doesn't specifically mention it, you can also spot a seat belt latch which appears to be fastened to the lazy boy. He was offered 3 now listen, maybe that's just an Australian thing. He was issued 3 citations, one for the unregistered vehicle, one for breaching the standards of the vehicle registration with an unsafe modification, and another for an unrestrained passenger. Now, I would think you'd be able to, Augusta PDawg, that's what I was thinking. If they are properly secured, they're fine. And if the seatbelts are functioning, I think that would work in the U.S. And you have reclining. In fact, when I owned a minivan, okay, now I had the captain seats all the way around in the first 2 passenger areas, the front and the middle passenger area, and they reclined. I would think that you could modify these legally to be as long as there's functioning seatbelts. Let's see, that would be legal in my state minus the kid using it. Yeah, I suppose you'd have to have a different type of restraint for a child, but what the hell? I don't know. All right, let's see. Tyler F. gave me one. Ancient sword of the meth king seized by Michigan police. Ooh, goodness gracious. What is this? Thank you, Tyler F. for this one. What is that? Now I'm curious. I might not even get to the rest of Twitter trends. The ancient sword of the meth king. A fearsome-looking weapon dubbed the ancient sword of the meth king by a Michigan police department is now in police evidence. The Bath Township Police Department posted a Facebook photo this week of a cache of weapons, including the insane-looking sword, and noted jokingly, while you were sleeping in the early morning of January 27th, officers conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle. Subsequent search located a very odd combination of illegally possessed weapons, as well as methamphetamine. There you go. The post was hashtag, obviously a high point, Lord of the Rings meets John Wick, and ancient sword of the meth king. So there's that nasty looking sword. Holy moly. He's got a couple some knives there, a couple pistols, a rifle there. He's got some bullets and wow. Okay. I'm scared of this dude. That's a hell of a knife. No, that's a knife, as they say in Australia, right? Yeah, little Crocodile Dundee humor. And also Becca Fairley. We talked about this guy last week. Oh, Tim Gersh. Let's see. Antiva has a pedophile problem. Oh, we'll have to. We'll check that one out on the next time. All right, let's get back into trends. Click here. Cartoons that should return. We already did that. Monday motivation is number 4. Let's find a good motivator for Monday. Okay, can't make this shit up. If Dow drops 1,000 points in 2 days, the president should be impeached immediately. Yeah, he said that once. But look, that was in 2012. I think the Dow was at 9,000 when he said this. Okay, right now 1,000 points is like 3%. I don't know, something like that. It's not, it's a whole different thing. He probably he should have never tweeted that, knowing that the Dow might be at 100,000 someday, and 1,000 would be 1%. But whatever. That was in 2012 that he tweeted that. Everything and anything is possible. Set your mind to it. Here's the picture. Seems to be a interesting looking spacewalk, but why would it be that close to the clouds? I don't know about that. I don't know if that'd be so possible. Anyway, Let's see. Australian Aboriginal artist Lung Kunan started painting at 95, pictured exhibiting her work at age 105. So that's interesting. That is motivation. That means you can start something at any age. And so this woman's starting to display her art in museums, and she just started doing that when she was 95, and now she's 105 years old, showing her art at galleries. So that's pretty good motivation right there. All right, moving on. National Napping Day. Oh, they made a day for me. This is a day I can 100% get behind. Happy National Napping Day, everyone. Oh man, yeah. I don't even know. Oh, there you go. Nap time right there. Bam. National. Who thought of this one? They make up shit. They just make up shit. I'm telling you. COVID-19 is trending. COVID-19. Let's see. Okay, we already read that one. We've already hit that enough today. Let's see. James Dimon. Who is James Dimon? Possible bite. Oh, this is people that he's possibly picking for possible. What? Behind the curtain, Joe's secret governing plan. Top advisors see a need to name a woman or African American as vice president. Here's possibly Anna Fino-Kane from Bank of America for Treasury, Jamie Dixon, JP Morgan for Treasury, Mike Bloomberg for the World Bank, Deval Patrick, Bain Capital for vice president, Tom Nides, Morgan Stanley for Commerce. Warren is still figuring out who or whether to endorse a candidate. That's hilarious. These are people that that's got to be an anti-Biden thing, right? They want to, because he's, Elizabeth Warren supposedly is against the banks, and so is Bernie. But he's thinking of all these people for different. Okay, never mind. Warren went on Saturday Night Live, Buttigieg on Kimmel, Jamie Dimon at Treasury. Liberalism is entertainment and lifestyle branding for professionals, a blank check for Wall Street. I'm ashamed to have ever voted Democrat. Ooh, damn.
Wow.
Damn. That's okay. So apparently people aren't whatever. What is this? What is this thing? I don't even know what is trending now. Jamie Dimon. That's why he's trending. Strange Brew is trending. Brewmeister Smith. Let's see. While Max Cito. Oh, from Strange Brew. Yeah, the Brewmeister. While Max said I was justified being lauded for his work on everything from Seventh Seal to Flash Gordon, let's not forget that he was also a critical component of the world's best remake of Hamlet. That's why Hamlet's trending, because of Max Cito. All right, very good. Moving on, S&P 500, the stock exchange trips circus trading was halted. Yes, we know that. Stock exchange is trending number 9 and 10. Number 11, Josh Norman agrees to a 1-year deal with the Bills. Reports say Josh Norman, the Redskin, I can't remember what position he plays. Cornerback Josh Norman have agreed to a 1-year deal worth $6 million base value with incentives that can get him to $8 million. Norman reunites with Sean McDermott, his defensive coordinator, all 4 seasons with the Panthers. All right, that's if you're into football, that's good. Is Ted Cruz still trending? I don't know yet. I'm gonna check. Check your logic. Ted Cruz was trending because he has self-quarantined himself at home for 14 days because at CPAC apparently there is. Someone has confirmed had coronavirus at CPAC, so Ted Cruz was there and was shaking hands and knows he came into contact with the person and therefore will self-quarantine. Saudi Arabia is trending because of the oil thing here. Oh, goodness gracious. So, the other day, this tweet came out from the Greta Thunberg Twitter account. Can you tell me something that's odd about this? Tell me what you think is odd about this. So she tweets, her account tweets. This is International Women's Day, and we recognize that women are still far from equal to men in today's society. We cannot have climate justice without gender equity. And remember, what we women want today and every day is equality, not congratulations or celebrations. In the chat, please, If you believe that Greta Thunberg made this tweet, press 1. If you think Greta Thunberg did not make this tweet, press any other number to infinity. Just saying. Yes, Greta Thunberg, 17-year-old with Asperger's. Do you think perhaps do you think a 17-year-old with Asperger's, who is very socially awkward and also doesn't like to answer questions off the cuff, she's very good with scripted answers but not good off the cuff, would tweet this particular sentiment with a professional photo of herself? I'm thinking that she might be slightly self-conscious and probably wouldn't do that. Is that, do you think? Whatever. Anyway, so, Ian Miles Chong says, I wish, it's gone already. Saudi Arabia and Russia are arguing over the price of and flow of oil. And the fake news is the reason for the market drop. And that fake news is the reason for the market drop. That is part of the reason for the market drop. And in fact, it's a big reason for the market drop because they're fighting over the price and flow of oil. That's why Saudi Arabia is trending. Official reserve assets with apparent effort to stabilize them close to $500 billion since the middle of 2017. I don't know what that means. Trump says crashing market's good for consumers, blames Russia, Saudi Arabia, and fake news. Well, that's why worldwide markets are going down. Part of it between that and coronavirus. Those are the two things that are causing this panic in the market, which I'm going to say 3 months from now, you're going to go, what was that? When was that? I'm saying with both of those things, I hope that, at least that's what I hope. That's my vision. Okay. Cory Booker has endorsed Joe Biden for president. He's trending at 13. All the corporate Democrats have got in line, or got put back in line by the Democratic National Committee. 3 Days of the Condor is trending because that's another Max von Sydow movie. Great movie. Seventh Seal, The Exorcist, 3 Days of the Condor, of course, Strange Brew, Dune. Oh, I forgot he was in Dune too. Flash Gordon, the 1980s, The Force Awakens, 2015. Rest in peace, Max von Sydow. I just happened to go there. Axios is trending. Why is Axios in particular trending? I think, let's see, confidence to Joe Biden tell Axios on HBO that JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dixon is being considered head of the Treasury. Oh, because they wrote this article about people who might be interested in being, about Joe Biden's possible cabinet. Okay. They're a little bit ahead of themselves, but, $30 a barrel is really bad news for shale U.S. exports. Yeah, that's the other thing. They're trying to, oil prices are not good necessarily for American companies, particularly the ones who do, like in North Dakota, the guys doing all the fracking out in North Dakota and the angled drilling and stuff. But whatever, we'll see what happens. All right, so anyway, Axe is trending because they're the ones who wrote the article. Steve Bullock is trending. He's also one of the people that is possible Joe Biden. No. Steve Bullock, Montana mayor, has decided he's going to run for the Senate in Montana to challenge, what's the guy's name who's the senator? Steve Daines. Montana Governor Steve Bullock formally announced that he will run for the U.S. Senate, improving Democrats' chances of winning a majority in the chamber this fall. That's an interesting editorial slant, CNN. Why would you say it's improving? What makes you think that improves Democrats' chances for winning a majority in the Senate this fall? Now, he is a very popular governor in Montana. I will give you that caveat. But why would you take the editorial position in your tweet and article improving Democratic chances? Now, let me see if this is maybe it's an opinion article that they're featuring. Chandless Duster. Nope, nothing on here that says editorial. It just says politics. So why would it improve? How do you... interesting choice of... whatever. Anyway, that's why Steve Bullock is trending. Finally, my 401k is trending. I'm not even going to click it. Owl Pharaoh, though, that's an interesting one. Let's check Owl Pharaoh. What does that even mean? Owl Pharaoh. Days before rodeo, Astro, birds, Owl Pharaoh, all fire though. Oh, these are Travis Scott. That's his Travis Scott project. Travis Scott's a very popular music artist, rapper, etc. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the day for the Morning Night Live. I'm going to click my notifications since there's one more. Thank you, RVA, and I already got Pete, and yeah, Tyler Evans, Necrocounts. Everyone who's been tweeting out the show, Becca Farley especially every day, does that for me. A lot of you, Maddie, does it a lot for me. All you guys that share the show out, that is fantastic because I get new subscribers from it, and it makes the chat a lot more fun. You guys are all here a lot and getting to talk to each other and know each other, and that's a lot of fun. And I'm getting see a lot of new names. I didn't say good morning to Fred Fernstum. I didn't even see you here. There you are. Good morning. But some of the names that I don't see as often: Ricky Ravioli, Fernstum. Let's see. Kessler. I didn't say good morning to you either. I should make sure I hit that too. Anyway, it is a joy to have all of you here each day, and I can't thank you enough for wanting to hang around with me. It's kind of humbling that you guys actually want to hang around and listen to what I have to say, or just or we get to chat back and forth so often. Also, thank you guys who do super chats every once in a while. You don't realize how much that helps me out for different things, especially today. James Colley, Lamented Guide. I'm eternally grateful for your generosity. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 4 p.m. GMT. Now we're here. It's 4 p.m. GMT. Is that right? Let's see. 10 o'clock goes to 11 o'clock. So yes, it was 3 p.m. GMT. It's 4 p.m. GMT, Monday through Friday. And if you haven't done so already, on your way out, make sure you hit the like button, that little thumbs up down there. Although Duck Dog, if you're in the house, there'll be one thumbs down from you. I know that. That's how it works. And if you would be so kind, if you're watching this on a replay or even now on your way out, hit the share button, share the stream out. Someone can watch it as a replay, and maybe we'll get a few more people joining us the next time we're here live. So please do that. And then again, you can also donate to the show through the Streamlabs link, which is at the PDawgnight.live right there. Follow me on Twitter at PDawgnight, all that stuff. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit the bell so that you're notified of new shows. I do gotta go though. I am so happy that everyone was here today. Please don't panic. Please don't panic. Take care of yourselves. Do the right things, but don't panic. Okay? And I'm saying, bye. I can't give, wait a minute. Hold on. I do not want to get clipped for giving investment advice. I do not want to do that. That becomes a problem for people, and I do not want to be clipped for giving investment advice. Bye. No, I didn't say anything. Anyway, I gotta go. My name's PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here.